Thing that was clear today in the Ray Tenzing trial is that, depending on who you ask, a few seconds of video isn't very clear.
There are conflicting stories about the moment Sam DuBose was killed. There's the defense's version and the prosecution's. Anjanette Levy kicks off our Tenzing trial coverage from the Hamilton County Courthouse. Hi, Anjanette.
Hi, Cammie. You know, we've seen that body camera video so many times. It's the main piece of evidence in this case. And you might say this is really a tale of two tapes because each side sees this video very differently.
Clergy from different faiths joined a crowd to walk and pray around the courthouse.
We're praying for justice and we're praying for peace for the city, praying for both of the families, that they will have peace as the trial goes on.
Earlier, Prosecutor Joe Deters told jurors Ray Tenzing intentionally killed Sam DuBose.
All Sam DuBose did was try to drive away from this traffic stop.
The entire encounter captured by a body camera. Deters told jurors DuBose had marijuana in his car, but Tenzing didn't know that at the time. He said Tenzing went against his training when he reached into the vehicle to stop DuBose from pulling away.
As soon as DuBose reached for the ignition switch with his right hand, Tenzing was already going for his gun.
Deters said Tenzing later lied about being dragged, and DuBose's foot pushing on the gas was likely a post-mortem reflex. But defense attorney Stu Matthews said DuBose mashed down on the accelerator to get away and drag Tenzing.
His intention was to stop the threat that Sam DuBose was posing to him at the time he discharged the weapon.
Matthews said Tenzing was following orders, making traffic stops around UC to combat rising crime, and Tenzing made other stops that day without problems.
But Ray Tenzing doesn't have it in for anybody.
Matthews said DuBose raised suspicion when he didn't pull over immediately and later pulled away.
Ray Tenzing feels like, and this is a tactical error on his part, he feels like I can stop him from leaving by reaching into the car and grabbing the keys out of the ignition.
Rodney Harris of the Black Lawyers Association of Cincinnati watched the opening statements closely.
What I was most impressed by was, I think the state's theme is unwarranted, intentional, and unjustified. That was something I kind of hung on to. I was also impressed when Mr. Deters kind of went over the statement and a number of key facts he called just flat out lies or falsehoods.
Now, the jury is going to have to decide whether or not this was self-defense or an intentional killing, and whether or not the jury believes that Tenzing was being dragged by DuBose and that DuBose was driving away before he pulled his gun is really going to be the determining factor here. Now, the jury will hear testimony from its first witnesses tomorrow morning. Several people are expected to testify in this case, including the first officers to arrive on the scene as the shooting was happening, and Ray Tenzing will also take the stand in his own defense. Reporting live from the Hamilton County Courthouse, Anjanette Levy, Local 12 News. Cammie, back to you.
All right, Anjanette, thank you. And Sam DuBose's family members, including his mother, Audrey, were in court for opening statements. They say they want justice for Sam and they want peace.
I truly hope that they do the right thing by my son, and I truly hope that the people who's representing my son represent him as though it was their son.
Audrey DuBose says that she trusts God to make things right. Local 12 will be covering this trial every day with team coverage throughout the verdict, and you can watch the entire trial live on local12.com. And while you're there, you might want to check out some of our stories related to the Ray Tenzing murder case. Just go to the news banner and click on the Tenzing trial.